Everybody, and welcome back to another commission time video, guys. So what have I got in store for you today? Well, it just so happens that the first stuff that I unpacked, also the last stuff that I packed up before I moved house, was my orc stuff. So all the orc bits came out first, and seeing as they did come out first, it was quite coincidental that one of my old friends from back in the day decided to get in contact with me, and he told me that he's starting an orc army and wants a really kick-ass orc warboss. So I decided to make him this beast, as you see here. Yeah, guys, so this was a really fun build for me. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to just hold it in one hand. I'm just going to zoom in a little bit. This was a really fun build for me. Really good to get the kind of like the creative juices flowing again before I started tackling some of the other commissions and stuff that I have lined up. I wanted to get my eye back into the hobby, and this was a great way to do it after the many weeks that I've been off. But anyway, guys, so what is he? He's an orc warboss, as you can see. He could also be used as a warboss on bike, a warboss in mega armor. Fuck it, you could even use him as a death dread if you wanted to. The overall design of him really is based off of a Securitron from Fallout New Vegas, with the Monowheel and everything like that, and the dead wide shoulders and long arms and things like that. So it was quite inspired by that, so to speak. In regard to the initial construction of this behemoth of a miniature, it wasn't actually that difficult. I didn't go, all balls to the wall, go full bullet to gate and do it. I actually did this in slight increments. I first started off by gluing this wheel. This is just a plastic orc truck wheel, and it's secured in just by regular poly cement. I let that set there, and I waited till the bond was really good and strong to actually make sure that it didn't wobble about and it didn't become unbalanced. After that, I then built up from the sides of the wheel for these support struts here, and this kind of like the fender fork, the fork. I don't know bike or motorcycle terms, but this is the bit that obviously connects it to the hip section, which then connects the body. Now this was a little bit on the tricky side and a little bit fiddly, because I had to find something that was wide enough. So I used these ogre gut plates here on the edges of the wheels. Then I used some front forks from a Chaos bike with a bit of plasticard tubing, and then the actual handlebar section without the handlebars on the top here, with some plasticard kind of cuffs over here as well, and that kind of secured it. Now there's green stuff in here going all throughout, and it's also glued as well, so it's hopefully a pretty strong bond. I mean, this bit here and here is the weakest point, so it's going to break anyway. It's going to break there, but a little bit of glue won't do any harm to it. The torso was a old plastic dreadnought that I had lying around. I used the dreadnought arms. I really like warbosses made out of dreadnoughts. I think this goes back to my love and affinity for actual dreadnoughts and stuff. It's just really good. The front plate here, kind of like the front mudguardy type armor plate, is from a Imperial Knight, and then just added plasticard dags and metal triangles and stuff just to make it a bit more orky. Its head is a Max Mini, I think it's the proper psycho looking head. I mean, if I just zoom in there for you guys, that head is an absolute psychopath. We've got some cool press molded glyphs going up here. He's got the boss glyph because he is the boss, and then some green stuff tubing going through here, and also underneath the arm to disguise the horrible green stuff joins on either arm, and I think it disguises it quite well. The first Power Claw arm was a little bit of a challenge, because let's just say this dreadnought arm was in a very big state of disrepair. It was very covered in glue, covered in super glue, covered in all kinds of guff like that. So I had to cover it up and kind of do the best I can with it. This is actually a missile housing here with some plasticard joins and brackets and stuff over there, and then just a Power Claw from a Orc Death Dread. Now inside it, because I wanted it to have a big heavy claw, but I honestly couldn't find one that was suitable for it. So this was the biggest and heaviest claw that I had. I have left it so that this can be detached if needs be, just with a little snap, and it'll come off basically inside here, so that another claw can be attached at a later date if the client so chooses. But there's a bit of detail in there, and there's a bit of a wire wrapped around some square tubing just to give it like a bit of a suspension look, some wire and some chain wrapped around there just to orcify it a little bit. The next arm, as I shall now spin it, it was again another just dreadnought shooty arm. It has the end kind of like barrel movement attachment of a Lehman Russ, and then 2 more Death Dread close combat weapons there as the elbow hinge, with a chunk of resin from Ramshackle Games, which is a Ramshackle robot. So this is an entire robot torso here, with another Dreadnought close combat weapon, and then finally another resin. This gun assembly here is half GW with these barrels, and then the other half is from Puppets War. It's actually a Puppets War rifleman cannon from the Rifleman Dreadnought set that they do. So that's that, and then that's covered up with some more glyphs. So I've even used some etched brassings over here as well, just to break it up and make it look not so monotonous in the rather bland parts of it. Moving to the back section of it, this is what I really, really like about it. This is one of my favourite parts of it. These little tubes and stuff, because I actually, rather than just cutting a hole into it, I wanted it to make it look like they had like some fixings and some housings for it. So I used some plasticard rod that was hollow, and then actually used that as the coupling section to put the green stuff tubes in here as well. Because of this back bit here, again, don't want it just to be a hole. I've used the back end of a what is it now? A custom Mega Blaster, just to make it look a little bit more worky. So yeah, guys, all in all, it was a really fun miniature to make. Some of my original concepts for this, I wanted to have just 2 massive claws, and then on the top here, I wanted to have 2 kind of like massive big shooters. I was going to have a Gatling gun on this hand. There was loads of ideas floating around, but ultimately, I decided to go with this choice here. And I think it looks really, really cool, and I absolutely can't wait to see the client paint this up. It is going to be a doozy. He also wanted an attack squig with it, and I've sorted that out. That's actually out to the side, but I can't remember where. I have to find it before I ship it off to him. But I was going to put the attack squig on top, but it just didn't fit. It just wouldn't. It looked wrong. It looked like it was just glued there. It was very amateur. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to give it a separate base, because attack squigs don't really need to be modelled. They don't really need to be shown. They're just there for show, really. But anyway, guys, thank you very, very much for watching. Let me know what you think of this. This is an absolute beast of a miniature. I freaking love it, and I'm really, really sad to see it go. I almost don't want to send it away because it's so awesome. I want to use it for my orc because it would fit so, so well. However, I might use this as the prototype for another one in the foreseeable future. But anyway, guys, that's enough of me. Thank you very much for watching, guys. Don't forget to check out the Facebook group. Don't forget to like, favourite, and subscribe, and leave a comment. And I will see you guys again. See you now, and goodbye.